Hello everybody. Today it will be our 38th lecture series, and I have mentioned in my Facebook as well as in my LinkedIn profile, and in my as well as in my YouTube that today 38th lecture series will be dedicated to the session. We will be discussing on the very important topic for another social security measure, that is ESI, or the Employee State Insurance. On the last three lecture series, during the last three lecture series, we have discussed about the Employees Provident Fund. It is one of the pioneers of the social security measures. But what is Employee State Insurance, and what kind of benefit actually ESI gives to its ESI members? Actually, Employee State Insurance Corporation, or ESI, what is known as, is one of the two main statutory social security bodies under the Ministry of Labour and Employment, Government of India, other being the Employees Provident Fund organization, what we have already discussed in our last three lecture series. Now, the fund is actually being managed by the Employee State Insurance Corporation, ESIC, according to the rules and regulation of the ESI Act 1948. We have got separate statute that is called the ESI Act 1948. Administratively, the organization is divided into 4 zones. It is headed by a zonal medical commissioner, zonal insurance commissioner. At present, there are 5 zones across India, and the states have one regional office, which is generally headed by an additional commissioner of the director rank officer. The regional offices are subdivided into sub-regional offices consisting of several districts. SROs are headed by director or joint director rank officers. To assist the regional directors, there are deputy directors having various units and branches and looking after the enforcement of the act and the schemes. State medical officer, medical referee, medical vigilance officer, a medical officer from the GDMO, sub-cadre are posted in the regional offices, and regional offices to look after the medical administrative work of the region. Now, many district offices have an assistant director or social security officer, SSO, to implement the scheme and to attend the grievances. Now, across the country, there actually are ESIC medical colleges, which are headed by Dean, ACG level officer from the teaching sub-cadre of medical officer, ESIC hospital, headed by medical superintendent, ACG level, that is senior academic grade level officer from the GDMO specialist sub-cadre of the medical officer, and the ESIC dispensary or dispensary branch office headed by IMO or the IC, office of the GDMO, sub-cadre of the medical officer, to provide the medical services to the insured person and the beneficiaries. The deputy director and the assistant director are also posted in the ESI hospitals and medical colleges to assist the dean and the medical superintendent in the administrative work. Similarly, social security officers, SSO, manager are posted in the DCBO to assist the IMO, IC in the administrative work relating to the implementation of the schemes and provision of the cash benefits. The total sanctioned manpower of ESIC is present at 21,000, including all levels. The deputy directors are recruited directly, completely through the Union Public Service Commission of India, as well as through promotion from the lower ranks. Subordinate ranks are also recruited directly by the ESIC, in addition to the promotion of the staff cadres from the staff cadres. The medical officer of the ESIC are recruited directly to the competitive exam and a personal interview at different cadres. And there are also nursing officers of the ESIC, which are also recruited directly, completely to the Union Public Service Commission. Now, in 1943 March, the background or the history of the ESIC is that Balchandra Pundrab Adharkar was appointed by the Government of India to create a report on the health insurance scheme for the industrial workers. Now, the report became the basis for the Employee State Insurance Act of 1948, and the promulgation of the Employee State Insurance Act 1948 envisaged an integrated need-based social insurance scheme that would protect the workers, the interests of the workers in contingencies such as the sickness, maternity, temporary or permanent physical disablement, death due to employment injury resulting in the loss of wages or earning capacity. Now, the Act also guarantees reasonably good medical care to the workers and the immediate dependents. Following the promulgation of the ESI Act of the central government set up the ESI corporation to administer the scheme, and the scheme thereafter was first implemented at Kanpur in Delhi on 24th of February 1952. The Act further absorbed the employees of the obligations under the Maternity Benefit Act 1961 and Workmen's Compensation Act 1923. The benefits provided to the employees under the Act are also in conformity with the ILO Convention. The Act was initially intended for the factory workers, but later it became applicable to all the establishments having 10 or more workers. As of 31st March 2016, the total beneficiaries are 18.8 million and they are increasing every day. Employee State Insurance Corporation, established by the ESI Act, a statutory organization under Ministry of Labour and Employment, Government of India. As it is a legal entity, if the corporation can raise the loans and take the measures for discharging such loans with the prior sanction of central government, that it can acquire both immovable and movable property, and all the incomes from the property shall vest with the corporation. The corporation can set up hospitals either independently or in collaborations with the state government. There are ESIC medical colleges, hospitals and dispensaries throughout the country run directly by the corporation under Ministry of Labour and Employment, along with ESIC hospitals and dispensaries which are run by the respective state governments. ESIC has its offices throughout the country with the jurisdiction for the sub-regional regional offices and sub-regional offices. So I end here by saying that today we will have a part 1 of this session, and we will continue with the ESI series, and there are many more things that are going to be unveiled in the ESI series, that how the employee is going to comply and how the employee is going to see what are the contributions and what are the benefits that they can get from these contributions from the ESI for becoming a member of the ESI. Thank you very much for watching.